Hey guys, what's up? It's Collegio. Today I want to talk about Jimmy Kimmel. You haven't heard, the late night host has been indefinitely suspended from his show on ABC because of jokes that he made about Charlie Kirk's assassination. So firestorm was set off, the FCC, the federal government was involved, big corporate publicly traded companies were involved. I used to work in the TV industry, so I think I have a perspective here that's worth getting into, and I'm going to give an ultra-realist take on what I think is going on, because I think that what's really happening is not being reported in the media. At least I suspect that it's not. But first, for some background, on Monday evening, Kimmel gives this monologue, one of his comedic monologues, and he makes fun of Trump on Charlie Kirk, and then he says something along the lines of, it was a joke about how it was MAGA Republicans who were responsible for killing Kirk, which was not funny. It was kind of bizarre. I saw this clip, it had come up on my feed, and because it was factually wrong, I thought that he was going to have to correct it on the air and maybe issue an apology. I was not expecting him to get fired over this. So here's what happened. The FCC chairman, Brendan Carr, the FCC, of course, is the government agency, the Federal Communications Commission, that oversees the broadcast airwaves. He gets on a podcast with conservative influencer Benny Johnson, and he says, ABC needs to do something about Kimmel, otherwise the FCC is going to get involved. Now, the threat there, the implicit threat, is that the FCC has power over ABC's license, all right? Basically, the FCC regulates the spectrum. The broadcasters operate on licenses to use that spectrum. They get those licenses for free, by the way. And the threat is basically, if they don't do something, we're going to basically destroy your business. Now, this is super heavy-handed stuff, and I don't like it. I wish the Trump administration had not taken this step, and I think it's critical for Republicans to be critical of this, because you do not want the government policing one-off comments by people on the broadcast airwaves. If there's like serial cases of something happening, but to police comedy and speech is a really, really bad precedent, and I hate that it's happening. But what's interesting to me about this case is that ABC capitulated so quickly. And none of the explanations that I've seen explain why ABC didn't go to the mat. Because these types of things happen from time to time. You might remember back in 2004, there was a Super Bowl halftime show with Janet Jackson. There was some indecent exposure during the halftime show. CBS was involved in a 4-year lawsuit against the federal government over this issue, and the fine was eventually vacated. So to me, I'm like, well, why on earth would ABC just fold in like 6 hours? It was crazy. I just never seen anything like that before. So the background, again, FCC chairman makes a threat. 2 big broadcast companies, not ABC, but that own local ABC affiliate stations, Sinclair and Nexstar, they go on the record basically virtue signaling to the Trump administration, we're going to take this guy off the air. We think it's distasteful. The parent network needs to do something about it. And then ABC makes this announcement. Now, what's interesting